Hello friends, this is Butch from Sand Hollow Homestead in Sand Hollow, Idaho. Today I thought I'd finish up planting some more vegetables. What I learned was that the soil that I bought, which was the compost from the landfill, it really needs more amendments to really work for seeds. It gets too hard. It gets clumpy. I don't know if you can see this, but see if I can grab a chunk. There you go. Now it will break up. It's not like it's rock, but it needs to be amended. I should have known better. I thought I'd try it, and what was happening is, see the green? Well, I kind of think it might have been overwatering, but part of it had to do with the soil. So I've put in some new dirt, and you'll notice that this has a lot of wood chips and brown matter, carbon. So I think that this is going to do better. Just to give you an idea, banana squash, crookneck squash, honey rock, melon. There's 16 of those. My flowers have come out pretty good. I transplanted them, and what I mean is I might have had a big container, kind of like this, and I might have had as many as 14 small flowers in there. And what I did is Barton and I worked together, and we separated them. Barton's is my son, and we separated them. So now they seem to be perking up. I did do a little trimming on them, tried to cut off some of the weaker branches and putting more life into the plant itself. And it does seem to be, well, as you can see, they're really standing up tall. Way in the back, that's radishes back there, and I need to transplant them. I've got to a point now where I can start pulling stuff out of here and putting it in the garden if the garden is not too wet. It's been raining, and we had one rain that was really heavy for Idaho. Okay, not for back east. You guys can get, I don't know, 3 to 5 inches in maybe even an hour. I don't know, a lot. That's the lettuce. There's 2 different types of lettuce there. And then we've got onions. And there's 2 different onions. There's the yellow onion, the Spanish onion. And then we have ruby red onions. So I've got a lot of starts that I need to get into the garden. If I put the camera down there, it looks like a jungle, doesn't it? Kind of cool. Okay, we got kale. And also in this box, I put new dirt in. You can see some of the brown matter, the wood chips and whatnot. But anyhow, I did replant quite a bit of stuff. And I won't go into a lot of detail, but there's a number of like eggplants and many bell peppers of different types, watermelon, and there's hail melons. That's your cantaloupes. I got 2 different types of cantaloupes. A lot of cucumbers in the back. Some of them have already, they've been coming up pretty good. So I did retransplant. Or reseed, I should say. I reseeded. There's Market More and Straight 8 cucumbers. And over here, yellow pear tomatoes, tomatillos, purple. There's some hot peppers that my brother-in-law gave me some seeds. Now the first round, they died. Like Joe Parker, supposed to be really hot. And there's others from Asia that's probably even hotter. I have never grown them before. This is the first time. There is German tomatoes, mariglobes, sunray, and a manna. And a manna, beautiful orange. And so is the sunray. Over on this side, there's tomatoes and peppers. Quite a few different types of tomatoes. Rutgers, Romas. I do have California Bell peppers, and I have some cayenne, jalapeno, and quite a few different tomatoes in the back. I won't read them all, but San Marzano, some good paste tomatoes. And then I've got some herbs in this area here. Oregano. I just replanted the cilantro, and I'm going to have to get that into a box. I do have a box now. I have a crate that my son brought home. So that should do pretty good. But you can see the flowers. Oh my. The flowers are doing really well in here. I do have some weeds growing in the back. If you can identify the weed to the left of that post and to the right of that post, what side is the weed? Okay. And these are Cosmo Picante. They're a beautiful little flower. They're not open now because there's not enough sun. But when the sun finally breaks through, it probably will. So there's a lot of different types of flowers in here. This is Aster Violet. And they took a beating when we transplanted them, when we broke them apart because there was just too many in the pot. And but they're coming along. And some of them may struggle. And yeah, there's quite a few. So anyhow, one of the first things I want to do today, if I can get into the garden, is plant these onions. And I also have 2 bags of bulbs. And they are also red and yellow. So Barton bought, I think there's 100 in a bag, so that means there's 200 onions to plant besides what I have here, and you can see there's quite a few there. And they're ready to plant. They've got a pretty good root on. Just to let you see it from a different angle, this is a 10-foot by 12-foot greenhouse with 42-inch tables. It does make a lot of growing space. The fan is on a thermostat, and so is the heater. So whether it's cold or whether it's hot, the thermostat will help control the temperature. Folks, this is too much air space, so it doesn't really heat it. As a matter of fact, you got to get real close to even know it's on. So in the future, I'll have to do something a little different. Got some ideas. But 2 tables, 42 inches wide, does give a lot of space for growing. And that was the whole object. Bob Wallace, a really good friend who has passed away, I bought this from his wife, and we put these 4x4s in here to strengthen it. Rafters. I've got a lot of videos on how we built it. And what we did was we made sure that we had storage space underneath the... Yeah, we're trying to grow some tires to save on money. Yeah, If you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you too. But we've got storage in here and lots of plants. Now, next year I do not plan on growing this many flowers. This was the first time I've done it, and I did it to help out a friend of mine and a lady in our church. And and she was blessing me with all these containers. So I said, I'm going to give her some containers back with flowers in it and bless her. So that's what we've been doing. And of course, every year I start my own plants, but I've always done it in the house. And one thing I've learned is you can't grow summer vegetables without proper temperature control, and you can't grow summer vegetables without having some really good soil, some soil that's actually amended and prepared for those little baby seeds. Now, winter plants is a little bit different because winter plants can withstand the cold temperatures. Now this has grown a lot since yesterday. You get some water in them and they go crazy, huh? All right, I better go get to work.